So somebody who's ideal for this building is somebody looking for a lifestyle change.
What makes this the project that someone would come in and say, you know what, this is where I want to buy, this is where I want to live?
The Well, it's constant pioneering, constant research, and constant searching for what's new.
Hi, my name is Nayla Benitez, and I am a luxury real estate agent here in Miami. And today I'm so happy to be here at The Well with Jason. He's from the sales team, and we have a couple of questions we're going to be asking Jason because we really want to dive deep into this project. It's actually one of my favorites. I've been fortunate enough to sell a couple of units in here, and Jason, thank you again for opening the doors and allowing me to kind of come in and pick your brain about the project once again.
Thank you for having me, Nayla, and I appreciate you always, looking out after our project and, bringing amazing clients to us. It's a
No,
pleasure to have you back
absolutely.
here at the gallery.
Thank you. People that know me know that I am very selective about the projects that I pick because I want to bring value to the clients. And this is one of those projects. But let me ask you,
Yes.
the well. I know a lot about it, but a lot of people don't. So tell me in your own words, what do you think makes this project special? Why would someone come here versus maybe going, I don't know, to the Four Seasons, to Sigara, which other projects that are coming to Coconut Grove? What makes this the project that someone would come in and say, you know what, this is where I want to buy, this is where I want to live?
You did mention other luxury condominium projects. And for your viewers to know, this is at the end of the day a luxury residential product that we're offering. But the biggest difference between us and the others in our market, whether it's Coconut Grove or Brickell or Miami in general, is the Well Club. It is first and foremost a club that has luxury residences.
Right.
It is the horse before the cart, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what other buildings and developments are trying to do is find a hook that would give their members or their residents, something special. Whereas the Well Club itself is known throughout the wellness community. In fact, it's the OG of wellness
Right.
in the country. And so people have sought out what they provide as services for over a decade and a half. And now that they have the opportunity to basically live an elevator button push away from it is a really special opportunity for people.
Tell me about those services. Tell me what the club has.
Sure. And a lot of times I think the misnomer in general when you say club is people think of a techno gym floor and a yoga studio. And we have those things. But, the Well itself is a pioneer between Eastern medicine and Western medicine and bringing those two concepts together where you have the excellence of American Western medicine, Eastern practices fused together, and then the latest technology, constant exploration from the Well team on finding what drives results for people in their wellness journey. Hyperbaric chambers, IV therapy, red light therapy, um, cold plunges. People, say, "Oh, okay, I bought a little cold plunge in my
Right.
backyard." These are on a whole new level of how to book these services, combine them together, and actually get results. And then have a team behind you that's studying how these results affect everything from your blood pressure to your blood panels to your overall just changes that your body can have in such
Right.
a positive way, not just because you're living in a luxury residence, but
Right.
because you're using these services on a regular basis in the building.
Can we say it's almost like a fusion between like a med spa and, a very, very high-end gym?
Yeah, I mean, there is an element of that. I think, the founders always felt like a lot of these services, a lot of these products, so to say, that are out there have always been scattered, right? Office here for this, office there for that. Their concept was let's bring it all under one roof and let's not just offer it and, hope that it gets results. They're data wonks. They want to see, they want to know what benefits the people that they call their clientele, but they're also members. What they want to see really the results on a longer timeline, right?
Okay.
And be able to tweak it and know what is working and what is not. I think that's the benefit that people think a lot of times that Well, I feel better. I've been using a hyperbaric chamber once a week for the last 3 months, and I feel better. But what about the internals, right?
Right.
Is it really changing something of your metrics?
Right.
And I think people seeking, well, first of all, if they're seeking a new residence in Coconut Grove,
Right.
right? But on top of that, to be able to say, the place that I do it will help contribute to my longevity, help contribute to my overall well-being, possibly have a preventative element of it where I can, maybe change my future and not have something drastic happen to me later on in life
Yeah.
because there are people that care and are looking after me for it and providing me the tools. And if there's something new that comes about on the market, let's say in 3 or 4 years from now, the well is going to be on it. They're going to
Right.
do their research and it's going to be provided in the club. So, what I like to say is all of the things that we're going to offer in the club as of right now is the technology, advanced technology as of now. But to say that that's ever going to be antiquated, maybe other places the tech gets antiquated. At the well, it's constant pioneering, constant research, and constant searching for what's new and what can actually benefit someone.
That's amazing. I mean, definitely at another level. I haven't been to any project where something like this is happening. So let's touch on the team behind it.
Mhm.
Because one of the things that we have seen throughout time is that the developer matters,
Mhm.
right? The architect, the designer, the landscaper, all of those, individuals coming together to build something not just beautiful and functional, but of quality. So tell me who's behind this project.
Sure. The visionary behind this project is David Martin of Terra Group. And David has what I would say is the most polished resume of new construction projects in South Florida and on the luxury side as well. So the partnership between having somebody like David who just thinks out of the box and breaks barriers and always kind of looks at it and says, how can I innovate and how can I provide a product onto the market that nobody has seen before? That's only going to come from Terra. And so having them partner with the Well Club, which is again that element where if you have a client or if you're somebody watching and you know wellness and you know that there is the fugazi of wellness and then there's the real deal, you know that the well is the real deal.
Right.
David already knew that long before the rest of us. So the partnership together is what makes it critical. And Terra then bringing in all of the professionals that they regularly work with that have produced such great projects here in Miami, like Architectonica for architecture, Myers Davis, who are
Right.
in fantastic interior design, and then Land Architecture, which is going to be doing pretty much a 1 acre rooftop oasis for us. So, and as well as doing the streetscape and all the other beautiful elements of the project that are the landscape architecture.
Mhm.
So a dynamic team, they've worked together on multiple projects, seasoned, they know how to interact, they know how to get these projects just not off the paper, but actually done. And to a point where the differential between what they design and what the reality is minuscule. It's
Right.
fantastic. It's
Mhm.
everything they vision comes to be what is done.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very important because one thing is to see it when you go to the sales center. Another thing is to walk into it once it's ready, right? You don't want, I guess, the quality of what you're thinking you're going to get to be something completely different. I have seen David's projects, I have seen them delivered, and you definitely get,
Yeah.
what you see and what is presented to you from day one. So let's talk a little bit about the residences. Let's talk a little
Sure.
bit about the project. Tell me how many units, you know, give me what I guess, the size, the floor plans, what they're starting at,
Mhm.
the square footage. Give me a little bit about the building. I know that there's so many different layouts here, so it's a little challenging when you come in trying to figure out, okay, which unit, is going to make sense for me because there's so many floor plans. But tell
Sure.
me.
There's over 90 different floor plans, over 194 different units spread
That's
out
crazy.
between 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom condo units. We have townhomes, we have lofts, and there's a differential between a townhome and a loft.
Right.
We have deep balcony units, and soon to be released is our new penthouse collection.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Mhm. So we're going to go over 90 different layouts once the penthouse level is released. So
And what's the typical ceiling height on these?
typical ceiling height is 10.5 feet,
Okay. And how deep are the balconies?
8 feet deep.
Okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, was it the townhouses or the lofts that they were even deeper? The terraces. Those were terraces, right?
Right. The lofts have 12-foot deep terraces, 8-foot high walls, and they also have green area as well that
Right.
the owners can use either for their own vegetable garden or just their own plantings as they want.
Yeah. So if you're in the market and you're looking, I want to say you want to be in a condo environment, but you want it to feel like a house. I think those are perfect units for that, just because
Absolutely.
you have the indoor and the outdoor space that blends in such a beautiful way.
And the Grove too, I mean, what I love about it is it's a dog-friendly community. You see people walking their dogs all the time here, and if somebody buys a loft and they have that beautiful terrace, it's a fantastic way to just, especially even the townhomes.
Right.
Townhomes open up to the street on Mary Street.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually really a brownstone concept that,
Right.
was made popular in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
that now you can just walk right out of your unit onto the street and walk your dogs, go for a run.
Right.
It's a fantastic living environment.
And the units themselves are amazing. I mean, one of the things that I really like, I'm a big, shower type of person, and showers on many of the units come with steam, right? If correct me if I'm wrong.
Upper levels.
Upper levels,
Mhm.
okay, come with steam. The bathrooms are amazing, and obviously the kitchens as well. The appliances are all high-end appliances.
Yes. Just because you're living in a wellness building doesn't mean you have to compromise on luxury. So Sub-Zero is our refrigeration. You even have a wine refrigerator as
Mhm.
well. You also get the Wolf thermo induction and speed oven and standard oven. And then the Well Club, that's from Terra, built
Okay.
for the unit. And then the Well Club is giving as a gift to every one of their new residents an espresso machine, Vitamix, sous vide, a teapot as well. So just a nice little package of gifts, including a Biologique cosmetics refrigerator for the master bathroom.
I mean, we can sit here talking about everything that's coming in this project, but there's a lot. And I think the best way is actually to come to the sales center.
Yes.
They have the kitchen here, they have the bathroom. You can get a real feel of what you get in a project like this. But tell me a little bit about the amenities. Let's talk about that rooftop and
Yes.
all the stuff that comes in there. And also, I heard that in the lobby, there's going to be food service in the morning.
It's
Tell
one of
me a little
my
bit about
favorite
that. Yeah.
parts of what the building will offer. The rooftop in general, though, is fantastically laid out. You have two pools. We have a resident side pool with cold plunge and hot tub, and then we have a club pool, 65-foot lap length from wall to wall, including a large hot tub. We also have an outdoor cafe, and we have an indoor conservatory, pickleball court, and an outdoor gym. And so at any given point in the week, there'll be 75 classes taking place that the well will host between inside the club
Right.
and then on the rooftop, whether it be sunrise yoga, sunset yoga, paddleball class, aquatic classes. So it's a living environment close to 9 stories above grade, beautiful views of Coral Gables, Coconut Grove,
How many
downtown
units?
Miami, 194.
Okay.
And the other amazing part of the amenities is the aperitif bar that's on the
That's
ground
what I was
level of
talking
the
about.
building. It's in the resident lobby area, and it's a beautiful bar that in the morning for 3 hours will have staffed and manned coffee service, wheatgrass smoothies, and light bites. And then in the evening for 3 hours, you have cocktails, mocktails, and appetizers. And that's
Yeah.
part of your HOA.
Right.
It's part of this amazing idea that will bring residents together rather than them passing like ships in the night in the mailroom, which is kind of the norm in Miami.
Right. That's
The
the way
idea
to get to know your neighbors,
is the
right?
way to get to know them.
And for people like myself that I'm always running in the morning, it's just like perfect. I don't miss, breakfast and a healthy option,
A
right?
healthy option.
I love it. I love it. I think it's amazing. Which would you say since there are, right, so many different lines. I mean, the way the building is set up, there's just so many angles to it. What would you say is the most attractive line, or maybe your favorite line, or the one that has been the most popular?
It's a tough building to really pick one particular
I
line
know.
because I do love a lot of the different layouts. We have beautiful corner units, though. The building is shaped almost in a W.
Right.
And because of those angles, it creates these beautiful 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom corner units. We only have 3 of any given unit in the building, at the most 3.
Which is great
Yeah,
because when it comes to resale, you know how sometimes if you're in a building, right, you
sure.
have
Yeah.
30, 40 units, 50 units if it's a high rise of the same line. So here, it's going to be very unique, especially when if you decide that you want to sell it down the road, not all the units are the same. So I think that's great.
You could have one of 3,
Yeah.
which is kind of a great thing. The other thing I love about what we're doing is creating the Penthouse collection. And the Penthouse collection was a response to be able to say, the lofts on the ground level have 21-foot high ceilings. Would it be possible for us to have a level of the building higher up
Hmm.
that has that? So Architectonica has been fast and furious creating an incredible collection of units. The building will go up one extra, about 10.5 feet in height. So
Oh.
the penthouse level will have 21-foot high ceilings in the living, dining, and kitchen areas with a beautiful staircase leading up to bedrooms above and below on the main level. The units themselves will be completely different in their layouts than what we have on floors 6 and 7.
Hmm.
So really anticipating the launch of that in the next few weeks.
So how many penthouses are you going to have in total?
I cannot disclose that
Oh,
information just yet,
okay.
but it's going to be exciting to be able to show everybody.
I know that one of my buyers, I think you mentioned that when they were here. The other day we were on the phone and they're like, "So, are those penthouses?" They're thinking about maybe
Yes.
if they come in more or less within their budget of upgrading to something like that. And I'm sure they're not the only ones that are thinking that of people that have purchased.
It's definitely important for those who are looking for that extra square footage, and they'll be 3 and 4 bedroom units. So it's not like the bedroom count will go up, but the square footage will. But in a few of the residences on the penthouse level, we'll have super deep balconies,
Okay.
basically large terraces. So that will be a fantastic option for anyone looking for to be able to entertain outside, have a lot of lounge chairs in their own outdoor oasis. Those residences will be fantastic for them.
Tell me something. Who would you say is the ideal client for this type of product? Can you give me information as to who has been buying here? Is it been local? Has it been international buyers, primary residence or a vacation home? What has been?
It's funny you ask that because in a lot of times I think about that and I think about who comes in and who we see purchase. And I guess the easy answer would be somebody who's into fitness and somebody who's
Right.
into wellness, but I think it's the opposite of that. I think it's somebody who is the dark horse, who's looking to change their life because that's what the well does better than anybody else is take somebody who wants to go on a journey and curates their journey. So somebody who's ideal for this building is somebody looking for a lifestyle change and making a decision not just for a new residence or a new location in the world, but to also say, I want to change my path. I want to create longevity and I want to create health and longevity, but I also want to live well while
Mhm.
doing it. So
Right.
that's the ideal person because they're not just getting a residence. You can buy a condo anywhere.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle change. And the best people to do it are those that curate all of the services that the well provides. So what we do see though, we do see a lot of locals that are Miami locals that, for all intents and purposes are reaching a point where their kids are either on their way to college or soon will be on their way to college and
Empty nesters.
empty nesters. And they're looking for a little self-care, a little pampering, a little mom and dad time,
Okay.
time for them and get back to what they love and make life a little simpler for themselves.
Right.
They don't want the big house anymore with the empty rooms that remind them of all the childhood memories. They're looking for something that provides a very livable floor plan so that transition is easy,
Mhm.
and they're looking to be taken care of. And they're looking to maybe drive a little less,
Right.
spend a little less time in traffic, and, kind of enjoy at any given moment. Oh, I'm going to use a hyperbaric chamber today, and, I'm going to hang out at the pool, and I have an aquatic class, and then I have my HIIT class on the outdoor gym
Yeah.
in the afternoon. Those are the things that we're seeing people really want, and that kind of goes into that lifestyle change a bit, you
Yeah.
know, that maybe wellness is kind of just a concept to them. So they're saying, teach me. And
Right.
while you're teaching me, this is where I'm going to live.
And I think we have to remember that we're in Coconut Grove. And the location that this project has is in the heart of Coconut Grove. You can walk 2 blocks and you're in the water. Basically, you can, get on a kayak, rent a boat. We have Michelin rated, restaurants in the area as well. So it's very, very walkable, like you said. I mean, really, if you don't want to, you don't need to use a car to get to a lot to the parks, to the theater, to the cinemas, to the restaurants. So I think that also blends into the lifestyle, right, that we have here.
Yeah,
So
very, very walkable streets. The Grove has always been known for that. And, it is right on the grid. It's right on the downtown Grove grid,
right.
and the building itself will enhance the streetscape. Right now, we have fantastic restaurant options across the street. We're now activating the other side of Tiger Tail Avenue with 2 new restaurant spaces. The Well Club itself will take up the majority of the facade of the building,
Mhm.
which will also have a juice bar cafe. And then we even have an additional retail space. So activating the street and being able to kind of extend
Right.
that culture and vibe that the Grove has and is known for, and make that part of the building is
Mhm.
also a fantastic opportunity.
Well, this has been absolutely great. Thank you for giving us all this information. Obviously, there's a lot more that we can share with you guys. If you want to get presentation of the project, if you want to know about prices, floor plans, just feel free to DM me. I'll be more than happy to send everything to you, or call me and we can make an appointment. Come in here, talk to Jason, and find your next home. Thank you for watching.